Here I am with Anne. It's really great, and I've known Anne for many, many, many years now. And Anne, ooh, when did you retire? How many years ago did you retire? Do you think?
Well, it was 1984 I retired.
So tell me, Anne, what when you were approaching retirement, what was in your mind? What were you doing, and what did you think you were going to do when you retired?
Well, I didn't have any idea really. I didn't have any plans. But I knew I just wanted to do something. I didn't just want to drift out of work and then not be involved in anything really.
So what is it that happened? What did you do as soon as you retired?
Well, I went to Pakistan.
Just like that? For a holiday, was it?
No, I'd volunteered to be... I volunteered to go for 2 years, that was the span, and I didn't know what I was volunteering for, but it turned out to be the warden of a hostel in a big, very prestigious college in Lahore. Well, it involved being in charge of, I can't remember how many girls, but and their hostels were just little individual rooms like cells, and they had padlocks for the doors.
That's amazing. You went out with one of the mission societies. Who was that with?
Church. It was called the Church Missionary Society, but I think it's now called the Church Mission Society. So when I was a member of CMS through Celia, really, and Celia Rance, who at our church, and I got the magazine regularly and contributed, and they were asking for older people who are retiring to volunteer for 2 years. Probably, I think you could probably have stayed longer, but it was basically for 2 years to offer to work, and I think it was mainly in education, because there was another school up in the north who also had people like me.
So big adventure really after your working life to suddenly up sticks and go.
Yes, it was, because I didn't know anybody else that was going. But we travelled out in January. Yes.
Great, it's fantastic. It's really good. And then you came back. And when you came back, did you just sort of settle down into retirement? What did you do when you came back to?
No, it was more difficult coming back than it was actually going. The going was exciting because it was new and it was different and it was somewhere I'd never expect to go. But coming back, I really did find it extremely difficult. But I did get pulled into the teaching English to speakers of other languages, the group in Wickham. And through them I was allocated to a family who I'm still in touch with.
So, I mean, I think it's amazing what you did. That's a big adventure for someone. And I think the fact that you could carry on as well with a family while you're here was lovely, actually. I think it's fantastic. And I think for you, there's this story and testimony of how God has led you through all these different stages of your life and taking you abroad to Pakistan as part of that as well, which opened your eyes to a whole new culture, and therefore being able to invest in that culture since you've been back here has been fantastic. And I know...
Can I just say that the reason my faith is so important to me is that I didn't become a Christian till I was 50. And that was when I was quite ill. And while I was ill, it was with a virus, and I was in intensive care for 6 weeks. A young theological student came into the hospital just once a week, and he just sat there and he talked to me, and I'm still in touch with him, and I was his first, I think I was the first person in his career who became a Christian as a result, really, of him coming in.
That's wonderful.
And it's been amazing, really. So, and when I came out of hospital, it just changed my life, and I wouldn't be where I am today if he hadn't come in and if I hadn't been able to believe.
That's right. That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you. You're incredible, actually. It's a real privilege to talk to you. Thanks, Anne. That's great.